Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soraya and today I want to talk about the twin flame runner and understanding their inner struggles. So the runner is a very fascinating subject in the twin flame community and the twin flame world because it's an experience that a lot of us have on the twin flame journey where it seems that our twin flame is running away from us. You know, Jeff and Shalia teach about this and explain it perfectly about how if your twin flame is running away from you, it's because you are running away from yourself. And so you may be thinking, like, I'm not running away from myself, I'm loving myself. But your twin flame is showing you something deeper because the choice to run is a choice that you guys both make because you choose as one. You guys share one consciousness. And so if they're running, you must be running too. And so when we're looking at what the twin flame runner is experiencing, we're just going to kind of talk about this from the perspective of your twin flame who is showing you running, okay? Because technically, as they're both running, we're going to just kind of focus on what is their experience over there, so to speak, just to kind of shine some light and hopefully bring some clarity about what's going on. Because sometimes you can feel like you're in the dark. And there are some things like details about it that you're not going to know until you guys are back together once you've healed separation with this work. You'll be able to talk about it, you know, like you'll be able to have the talk and like, what was your experience? What were you feeling when you chose this, when you did this? And it's very enlightening to have that talk. Highly suggest it. I've done that and yeah, very healing for both of us. And so, you know, it's that the details of it, like the specifics about what their actual experience was, like moment to moment. I mean, that's something that you know, you guys may find out, talk about later when you guys are back together after healing the separation stuff, because that's what we're about around here. We're about healing separation, not staying in it. So definitely, like, you know, that time is coming where you can get those kind of details. But I want to kind of shine a light on what's actually going on over there from a spiritual standpoint, because sometimes we can feel like we're alone. We can look over at our twin flame and it looks like they're living life without us. And what are they doing over there? And it can be the source of a lot of fascination. So I'm going to kind of dive into that. So twin flame separation sucks. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what it looks like on the outside. It sucks. Because in order to experience separation from your twin flame, you literally have to separate from your own self, your experience of your own soul. You are experiencing, like, it's like you are a whole being created a certain way by God. And you've got feelings in your consciousness. You've got, you know, your soul blueprint. Like you have this energy that is your consciousness, that flow of life that is you. And in order to experience twin flame separation, there literally has to be a type of rejection within your own soul of yourself. And that does not feel peaceful ever. And so when we're disconnecting from ourselves and we appear to be having a really nice life on the outside, what's actually happening is that we are distracting from this very uncomfortable thing that's happening at the core, that is twin flame separation. This is true for anyone who is experiencing twin flame separation. Literally, if you're not experiencing harmonious twin flame union, if you want to know more about what harmonious twin flame union is, definitely check out Jeff and Shalia's work. They've got their book talks about it. They've got videos about it. They've got obviously a lot of resources and support. And I'm sure I'll go over that at some point in another video. But if you're not experiencing harmonious twin flame union where you live as one with your twin flame, you're experiencing that type of resistance in your soul, that type of, like a type of separation happening within yourself. And that is not peaceful. So no matter how it looks on the outside, no matter what it looks like on the outside, the fact is that nobody's really having a good time being separate from their twin flame. No one's enjoying that experience. That is not natural. It's literally like you can't have peace with your own self. And so it's disconnection. Now, sometimes there can be numbing where you're not even aware of the part of you that you're not connecting with in your soul. because you've just chosen to not feel those feelings. You've chosen to not be like, you push it into your unconscious. This can be healed absolutely with Jeff and Shalia's work. I see it happen all the time. I've experienced it where I experienced a lot of very intense numbing and I was able to heal it. And so that can happen. So it could be true that maybe they're not consciously aware of what they're not feeling, but it's happening on some level. There's a part of them that they're not connecting with. Otherwise, separation wouldn't be able to be happening on the outside. They wouldn't be able to show you running on the outside. So the first thing I want to establish is there's no peace in that. That doesn't actually feel good. A lot of people feel like something feels good if it feels really high and like, oh, it's so much fun. And, I just feel like I'm having such a good time with this person or this thing outside of me. But it's being treated like an escape, really and truly. Unless you're peaceful and you're completely connected with yourself while you're having that experience, you're actually distracting yourself from the not peace that you're experiencing. And so there's a difference between feeling high and feeling peaceful. Now, as you heal twin flame separation and raise your vibration with your twin flame, because you continue to heal when you're with your twin, you will experience more and more high energy within yourself because you're raising your vibration. But you're going to feel peaceful as your vibration raises because you're with yourself. You're present with yourself as you raise that vibration. You're not abandoning yourself to have a distraction or another experience. You're with yourself, raising your vibration as one with yourself. And so that's a very different thing. Jeff and Shalia have talked about this in Romance in Sedona, how a lot of people have upsets with their work because they don't teach just like a high and then a crash, a high and then a crash. Because a lot of people just want to like go on a date with their twin flame or just, have a phone call with their twin flame or just, to have a certain thing happen. And that's all they want, and then they crash afterwards, and they just are always chasing that high. And Jeff and Shalia teach a much more mature way of doing it so that you can actually permanently raise your vibration and like you live at that high vibration now. And so that is very different than the high and crashing. That means that you have spiritually attained that high feeling, and that's where you live now. Like that's like literally that's your default. Like you don't even like you don't reach for that. You live there. Like when you're sleeping and you're not even trying. Like that's where you are. Because you've healed any blocks that were keeping your vibration lower, that were preventing that level of that high experience. And so, what you experience when you're with your twin flame is a very real growth and transformation and peace that expands for eternity. When there's separation and running, that you can't have that anywhere else. It's just not possible. There's no amount of, having a perfect life on the outside or having, the most ideal experience or, having, coming into a lot of wealth or a lot of whatever it may be that it may look like on the outside. There's no amount of that. There's nothing that this world can offer that can replace having peace in your soul. There's nothing that you could ever experience in your life that would be rich enough to satisfy you when you are not satisfied within yourself. There's nothing, like literally you must experience your love within. You must be with God within in order to have peace and be free and feel good. And so if you want to know what the runner is experiencing, most ultimately, they're not, excuse me, still allergy season around here. They're not experiencing a heavenly life because there is no heavenly life without them being with themselves. There's no such thing as having peace and joy when they're not present with their own self. And so that's what they're experiencing. They're experiencing discomfort just like you are. The difference is they may not know it cognitively, whereas you're here watching this video and you're learning about twin flames and you're starting to get it, like understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. So they may not know in their mind what's going on, but it only takes one twin flame to heal separation because you are one. So you heal the blocks to being together. They've healed it. They don't need to know all the details in their mind. And so the truth is, regardless of what they think about what they're doing, regardless of what it looks like, there's no such thing. I mean, like I said, how can there be, no matter what it looks like on the outside, how can you possibly actually be happy if you're not at peace with your own soul, if you're not connecting with yourself, if you're not connecting with all of yourself, not just parts of yourself, because everybody's connected to themselves in certain areas, right? I'm talking about like having union with who you truly are inside. It's a type of self-betrayal to leave yourself, to run from yourself. And so, no, they're not having a good time. They're not having fun. And it's more the reason to continue to heal, because they want this as much as you do. Whether or not they're conscious of it in their mind, they want it as much as you do, because nobody is having fun not being fulfilled and satisfied and feeling whole and complete within themselves and having that heavenly experience in their soul. Nobody is having a good time. I'm telling you guys, like, there was this one, I saw this, it was a YouTube video. It was like a compilation of like all these different actors and celebrities and all these famous people who were very wealthy. And they were just all talking about how like, it didn't make me happy. Like, it just didn't make me happy. And it's just a reminder, like, you take yourself with you everywhere you go, no matter what you're looking at, you take yourself with you. How do you feel inside when you're alone with yourself? That's actually how happy you are. It's not what you have, it's not what it looks like. And so your twin flame is running and it looks like they're having fun. They're, partying, they're hanging out with their friends all the time. They seem to be thriving in every way. You got to look beneath the surface, guys. And this is just a thing about life. Look beneath the surface, because there's a lot of things people are selling out there in life that are not really valuable. You've got to look at how something actually feels. And it's safe to have like real compassion for your twin flame, especially if they don't know what's going on. Because, Jeff and Shelley have talked about this in Twin Flame Ascension School, that like, to be the twin flame that does understand what twin flames are about, and you're learning about this, like, it's a huge blessing. And imagine being the twin flame that you're going through all these ups and downs of life and this, all these changes, and you don't know consciously what's happening. It's not so fun, it's not necessarily the most enjoyable position to be in. You right now know what's happening, you know who your twin flame is, and you know how to heal it. If you've been, following this work, Jeff and Shelley's work, you know how to heal it. And so like, you're in a position where your work is cut out for you, and you know exactly what's going on, and you're learning every day even more about what's going on as you learn more about Jeff and Shelley's work, and as you do the mirror exercise and actually start healing twin flame separation. And so you're in a really beautiful position. And it, your twin flame's okay. It's like, they'll be all right. God is with them too, for sure. But, you're in a very special position to know what you know, and to be able to be conscious about what's happening. And so, out of love and compassion for them, heal it. Out of love and compassion for yourself, heal it. They're mirroring where you're running from yourself. This means that neither of you guys are at peace with yourselves within. And so you want to heal twin flame separation, not just to get back in touch with them, but you want to come into harmonious union where you've healed twin flame separation at the core, so that you guys don't have to experience this anymore, because this is not a way to live. It might be what is normal to most people, but most people are not experiencing life the way that they can. And so it doesn't matter what's normal. Like, who cares? Normal is like having a really, really terrible time in life. I don't even know the words. Like, what is normal right now on earth is completely unacceptable in terms of quality of life and depth of life and satisfaction in life. It's just not acceptable. The fact is that ego, it doesn't work. People get sold on these ideas of, I'm going to have this next relationship, or I'm going to have this career, I'm going to have this situation or this circumstance or whatever it may be. I'm going to have the white picket fence, the whatever life. And it cannot ever be enough to satisfy your soul. Your soul has to be satisfied on a soul level. And your twin flame is here to show you how to do that. So If you want to know what your twin flame is experiencing, the runner over there, it's still you, but over there, that's what they're experiencing. They're probably looking at a lot of things. Maybe they're starting to look within, and they're starting to look at, like, why am I running? Like, what is this? Like, why am I not at peace with myself, within myself, in my soul? But they're not having fun. You guys, neither of you guys are really going to be having fun until you are in harmonious union with yourself, and you're having and experiencing that love that you're designed to have, and that peace with yourself on the inside in your soul. So yeah, hopefully this kind of clears that up. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.